Hello, it's me. My name's TJ and I run TackyJesus on the YouTube.com.
Okay. Hey, I have a friend. So today we're going to be talking about masculinity and stuff because Hannah Witten and Daniel J. Layton did a video on it like a couple of days ago, and I was like, hey, TJ, do you want to talk about this? And TJ was like, sure, and then forgot what we were going to do. So, TJ, tell us about yourself.
Well, my name is TJ. I am a recently out trans guy who is POC Hispanic. I go to the same school as Laura. We've been friends for like 4 years. I'm a bio major, and yeah, that's what's up.
I just forced TJ to watch Hannah and Daniel's video, so if you want to go check that out, this will be down in the description, may include an annotation, IDK man. What did you think about the video?
So I thought that it was a really good coverage of big issues that are going on, especially since like not only did they cover the issues, but they also acknowledged their knowledge gaps. So they were like, both of us are white, cis, straight, and I really appreciate that they included that. And also they really addressed how like a lot of these issues are multidimensional and you can't just answer it in a couple seconds. So I liked that they were both like knowledgeable and addressed like knowledge gap issues.
What Hannah and Daniel talked about was masculinity and feminism and like kind of the conglomeration of those things. So I've come up with a list of questions to ask TJ along similar lines, but also, including the fact that he is a wonderful trans Hispanic guy. So, first question, how do you define and express your own masculinity?
So I think that gender roles are kind of bogus and a crime, but because I try my best to pass, my masculinity, like how I express it is, it's mainly in my clothing. I try really hard to pass. So I have the short hair going on, I wear cargo shorts and sneakers, because that was a fashion one day, right? It used to be a fashion, and
Sure.
I can't pull off the tank tops because I have like double D's. It's not good. So that, but also like the personality aspect is that like, in my group of friends, we're all feminists, so I can be really emotional and stuff as I am. But if I'm outside of my circle, I kind of have to tone it down, be like less flamboyant, less dancey, less emotional. So unfortunately, that's kind of how I have to define it in order to do my best to pass and for people to be like, oh, so you really are trans, you're not just a butch lesbian. So, yeah.
Perfect. Have people actually said that to you?
My father.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Fun times.
Also, real quick, will you define for the camera what passing is?
Sure. Passing is really a term for trans and non-binary folk, which basically means that when people view you, they consider you to be whatever you identify as. So if Laura is like has boobs and a vagina but dresses like a guy, people are going to be like, oh yeah, that's a guy. They're not going to be like, that's just a tomboy. And that's really what passing is you can get away with it without getting like looks and stuff.
Well, I think it's also like being able to have people see you and recognize your gender identity from just what you're wearing.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, next question. Good job. You're so eloquent and I love it. This was a great idea. Okay, so in the video that Hannah and Daniel did, they talked somewhat about mental health and how, men in general, like, deal with mental health because men are more likely to commit suicide. So I was wondering if coming out as trans and, like, realizing that you were like, oh, shit, I'm one of them men, has changed the way that you view your mental health and the way that you interact with it and deal with it.
Well, no. Mainly because, like, before I came out, I was always like, yeah, I'm so manly, if Laura remembers that a lot, freshman year. And, like, I pushed off going to therapy for so long. Like, I had the means and my parents were willing, but I was like, no, I'm strong enough, I don't need to go to a doctor. And, like, shortly before I came out, I started seeing a therapist because of mental health issues. But after I came out, my like perception of mental health didn't really change. Mainly because, I'm a bio major. I understand that psychology isn't really determined by our own choices. It's just kind of something outside of us that we have to deal with. So I wasn't like, oh shit, I'm a guy. Can I curse?
Yeah, I've been cursing.
I don't know. Oh shit, I'm a guy now. I have to stop being so girly and going to a therapist because therapists are for weenies. Like, no, I pretty much maintained the same view. Although I did stop going to my therapist because one time I missed an appointment and I was too anxious to ever call them back, and that was about 7 months ago.
Babe. Babe. So, before you realized you were trans, I was wondering how, like, if realizing that you were also a guy affected the way that you see masculinity and the way that you, like, define it, if that changed after you realized that you would also like to be considered masculine.
Not necessarily, because honestly, by having those strict gender norms in place, it made it a lot easier for me to figure out what I had to do to be accepted as a guy, right? So I was like, okay, my hair's long, time to cut it. I wear lots of dresses, time to switch that up right quick. But also, I kind of like, as I realized I was trans and kind of got more educated on the trans community and also like the issues of like masculinity and stuff, I became more educated and realized that it is like a problem for lots of people that masculinity exists and that they can't, especially for like cis guys, that they can't express themselves very well if they're like really emotional or like bright colors or florals, like really weird, narrow things that they have to deal with. So it didn't really change my view of masculinity as much as it changed my view of how people like perceive it and define it and what it means to have that as a thing in our society.
So, like, in a perfect world, would you be, like, so I know that, like, you've stopped wearing dresses and you cut your hair short, but, like, in a perfect world, would you like to be able to wear more dresses and still pass and grow your hair out long?
Okay. Oh, yeah, mainly just because, okay, one, dresses keep you so cool in the summer. I just wore one yesterday to defend my research because I knew I was going to be overheated. And two, like, I used to grow out my hair and cut it and donate it all the time. And then I was like, well, I'm a guy now, I'm trying really hard to pass, so I haven't grown it out since. So it's like little things like that I wish I could do. And also, like, I really want to try makeup recently. And it's like, well, can't really do that because then I'll just confuse people and probably get lots of looks. So, it's just how it is.
I am curious as to whether or not you would be willing to try, wearing makeup and dresses in the future and growing your hair out long and not worrying about whether or not you pass so much, or if that causes you too much of like a mental difficulty.
Okay, so with that, I mean, a lot of trans people face like really high levels of dysphoria. So they're like, I never really liked doing these things because it made me uncomfortable. But the thing is, I don't really have that much dysphoria. It's more like, where are my genitals? There's just a flat blob. That's not the genitals I wanted. So with that, I think I would be more willing to experiment just because it doesn't really cause me pain or anything. But also, I kind of already do that. Like, we have our safe spaces.
Yeah.
And we've done it before. But it's just like, out in public, I still also think that the climate would be too much. Because even if I passed as a guy, like, really well, I had my beard going on and stuff, I still think that wearing makeup while passing would still be like give me some sort of stigma. And I'm like, honestly, like, I'm 5'1", I have no muscles. I'm not trying to get beat up for not being society's definition of what a guy is. So yeah, I try to play it on the safe side. So if the climate changed, I would also be more willing to do it whether or not I passed.
So would you agree that Daniel in the video, he was wearing like a V-neck, he dresses much less masculine than you, so would you agree that maybe trans guys have less freedom in expressing their masculinity than cis guys? Or, I don't know.
I think it depends on what stage you're at. Because I've seen lots of trans guys that pass really well.
That's true.
So they can fit in with the cis guys just fine. But when you're at my stage, pre-hormones, pre-surgery, it's like, it's not as easy. So it just depends. And also, like, some cis guys look, like, really feminine. They have, like, rounded jaws, kind of longer eyelashes, thinner eyebrows. So it's, like, it can be hard for them, too. Because if they try to do something feminine, like wear a V-neck or have, like, a little bit of blush on or something, then for them it's like, oh, you're gay. There's a lot of variables.
So, overall, last question. Do you see, like, lots of positive change in the future?
I'm sorry. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Like, over the course of the past couple decades, we've seen
Yeah.
feminism has been on the rise. It's been more inclusive of gender, sexual orientation, race especially has been really more inclusive towards like minority people. So I see a lot of change, good change in the future, and also scientific change. Like the first penis transplant was done this year, and we're having uterine transplants, and hormones are becoming more effective. Puberty stoppers are becoming more effective. But in terms of like the attitude, I think we have a long way, but we're doing pretty okay, despite places like North Carolina, which is my actual home, where I live with my
Yikes.
family. So, yeah, I don't know.
Awesome. Thanks for doing this video with me, TJ.
Is it nap time?
Yeah, no, it's dinner time. It's almost dinner time. We can almost go to dinner.
Dang.
So, thanks for watching. If you guys haven't checked out Hannah and Daniel's video, you should definitely go check that out. I'll put a link down below. Subscribe to TJ if you want. I'll have a link to him too. He like posts occasionally. He posts about as often as I post.
Not even. But I will be posting more once the semester ends, because I posted
same.
like Christmas break,
Yeah.
and then the semester happened, and now it's almost over.
So check out this guy. Also, if you guys want to join in the conversation, you can chat down below in the comments, or you can make your own video, or you can go chat in the comments on Hannah's video. Like, do what you want because pirate's free, and you are a pirate. But also, remember, gender norms are not, don't do it.
Do what you want because the pirates are coming and you have to prepare.
No! Anyways, bye. Now we're gonna clap. No, just whatever.
You said
it doesn't
we.
matter.
You said we're
No,
gonna clap.
I said we as in like the royal we. Hold on, I forgot to pull up my things first. Shit, boy. What are you doing?
Clapping.
Okay.
Hands moving side to side, smack it.
Why do you like this? I should have pulled this up before I started filming, but I forgot.